Let's dive back in as Spain in Victoria 3. I'm Garner, I'm from Ireland, and I love strategy games like this. I hope you do as well. We're going to be playing as Spain in looking to restore the Spanish Empire, as well as at some point soon, relative term, go for the Bourbon achievement, which is getting the standard of living up to 20 while still being a monarchy. Now, if we have a look in the last episode, we did some stuff to stabilize our economy. We have a positive balance. We imported grain. And then started constructing to deal with our bureaucracy issue, where we started building government administration centers. But first, we started putting construction centers down so they build quicker. Now, we still have a low government legitimacy. We're not really going to be able to do a huge amount with that in the short term because the intelligentsia are still angry. Though at -3, it might be possible. Okay, we can get them in, and if we kick the landowners out, we go above 50. Brilliant. So what we did to improve, so the intelligentsia were very angry. One of the things we did to balance the books was to slash government wages, slashed armed forces wages, and then put in some consumption taxes as well. Mainly just grain at the moment. We will look to put that to put our authority to better use than grain tax, but when we raised the government wages, the intelligentsia got less upset, and that's now ticked through. So their only annoyances are with a bunch of laws that we have in place, and several of these I'm okay with looking to remove, and they want to see them removed. So they want to see. I think there's something about removing slavery, segregation. I think we can make our people a more progressive nation. Now, and religious schools, I'd like to get that to private schools, which is better from a research point of view. The police force is one we're going to keep. We need to keep unrest down. So that's not one we're going to look to roll back. Appointed bureaucrats, absolutely very strong. And we're not going to be changing our government type, really. So we will look to lock in this government change, which should help with passing, won't necessarily help with passing this law. The industrialist support, the rural folk oppose. But then as we saw, there were some laws that, so the key kind of laws you want to get to really start improving your economy are more of these economic ones. So, a shift from land-based to per capita would be quite a good thing. A shift from mercantilism to protectionism or free trade would be a good thing. Now, we don't have support currently for either of those. Interventionist is reasonable for now. A move to laissez-faire longer term would be brilliant, but again, we have strong opposition for that from the landowners. They haven't been brought down enough. Racial segregation, there's national supremacy is potentially not, it's sort of bad, but it's possibly not as bad as racial they're all bad, but it is the 1800s. Okay, so we'll get this running. Also, in the previous episode, the two Sicilies have decided to start interfering with our affairs in Africa, so we have returned a rivalry on them. We were looking at potentially going for an early war against Morocco or Tuscany. Now, if you see, our bureaucracy is now almost in the black, with all of the government buildings coming online. So now if we go into buildings, government centers, let's get the remaining missing government centers online. Increasing convoys. Colonial enthusiasm. The new news that the government intends to pass colonial exploitation laws created great enthusiasm amongst those that are eager to exploit new and distant lands. slow down, the law isn't signed yet. We get plus 20% enactment success, pretty solid option. A place on the world stage, plus 10% prestige, 10% enactment, it's probably or load the ships. We get colony growth speed for 2 years and enactment. I think we will take the prestige. Now if we look at our construction queue, I want this one to be the highest priority. It's the largest population of these areas. And when they're all built, we will then look at things like paper and wood. High tensions with Douala, our neighbour in our colony, which the two Sicilies were stirring up. So we have a duel. We have petty bourgeoisie and the trade unionists wishing to kill each other. We don't have a huge interest in either of them usually at the moment. Now, Alberto Fernandez is an abolitionist, so if we wanted to try and push through some, slavery abolition, it would probably be good for him to stay as the leader of the petty bourgeoisie. So we can let them fight, we can stop it happening, or we can ban dueling, which will upset the landowners and make the intelligentsia happy. We'll go with that. We are looking to improve the intelligentsia's standing. So we're at 31% success chance on the law, and we have the UK and France both into a positive and we have our bureaucracy into a positive as well. So max institutions improved. So let's have a quick look at our institutions. We can improve our education. So another level of this improves education access, includes conversion. Currently it would improve the Catholic Church's clout because it's religious schools. We can increase law enforcement, which would improve the landowners and reduce state penalties for turmoil. And we can't improve the health system yet. I'm not looking to do anything that improves either of these factions, but I am prepared to spend some of my authority to increase the support of the intelligentsia. Now that we have a surplus of bureaucracy, we could look at adding another general or making one of these generals stronger. So moral damage protection's not bad, offense supplies not bad, persistent is very good. So I think we will look to make this guy be promoted. He can now field 40, so we still have a shortfall of just 5. And if we get one more, Catholic Church and landowners. So definitely not the Catholic Church guy. And we'll also look to bring in an admiral, armed forces and landowners. So I think we're, oh dear. Well, the armed forces guy is an opium addict, which is somewhat problematic. And he's a bandit, which increases morale damage. Moral damage on the other guys, though, that's pretty good. So we'll take him, and we need one more, which is going to be this guy. So then we want to, there we go, intensive agriculture unlocked. If we now look at our rural buildings, we look at our wheat farms, so we can shift to more fertilizer based economy. We haven't really got fertilizers yet, but we can shift to harvesting tools, which should be an improvement. And we can also allow them to generate some wine as well as grain. Our rice farms are being allowed to generate figs. Livestock, we can shift it to intensive grazing ranch, which will generate fertilizer, which feeds back into the wheat farms. And we have a gold mine, which we don't have any options to do anything with, and it's already maxed out. So we have some overseas tobacco. So we currently don't, so we want to get logging increased. If we look, which has the most peasants: Castile, Valencia, Eastern Andalusia, Navarro, and Navarro has already got several in place, so we can make Navarro more of a hub. 3 more into there, and then we'll get to Valencia, also going on wood. And now if we look at urban, the other thing we have a deficit at the moment is paper, after we started increasing all of our government centres. So those bureaucrats, they need paper. So we'll go with Castile here, or Eastern Andalusia, Castile. So we'll put 2 into there, and I think Galicia could be a reasonable option after it's also a place we have construction sites. Okay, so that will do for now from a construction point of view, just to try and deal with our expensive goods issues. And we have passed our first law, so we have a quick look at this. Colonial exploitation, subsistence output in unincorporated states reduced by 25%, starting wages reduced by 25%, minus 25%, tension decay, plus 10%, throughput in unincorporated states enables colonial affairs. We get plus 0.1. The armed forces endorses this, the industrialists endorse this, the rural folk disapprove. Colonial power. Objective complete. Now we can come down into Africa, we can go to diplomatic lens, and we can go establish colony, and can get to any of these spots before others. So if we look, Togo here, the Danes are looking to establish one. We came in here as well. We will do it faster. And we would also be interested in taking the rest, the bordering lands here. Now the only thing is, doing a second one does increase, but we're still going to do it faster than the Danes. So I think that is a reasonable start. And we need to research our next technology. So nitroglycerin, pretty excellent, but it's a drop in down to tier 3. So it's still tier 2, so it doesn't have a big jump in cost. So I think the next one we'd look to be getting is the ability to have better tools potentially, or I think getting motor industries. So our economy is stable. Tuscany don't have any friends yet. Morocco don't have any friends yet. We need to get the wood and paper online. We need to get our military goods improved. We need to get a port into this new colony. Language in the classroom. Oh, speed 5, it's shot right through. So we'll drop to speed 3, get everything moving along. Spanish Togo, we're going to build that port, which will help with your market access. Now realistically, we don't need this port until we are actually in Togo, which will be 1200 days, which is around the same time as this? No, this is about 500 days. 73, yeah, 1200 days is like 4 years. This will take a year and a half. So not a priority. Paper is still expensive. Well, we're about to build some paper mills. And the trade route importing grain needs additional convoys. Was that the message? So we need to increase our port sizes. The next thing we need to do. If we have a look at some of our routes, these all look reasonably profitable, apart from the furniture, which is an import, but it's a good we need, so we'll let that one slide for now. We're exporting tools for not a lot of money, so we'll turn that one off. Importing lots of artillery, so that is one that we need to. These military goods, we need to make sure we have the ability to maintain them, and we have some paper imports that we're going to try and resolve soon, and we need to get some clippers online. Developments, ports, build some ports, get our clippers sorted, then we can do more trading. Paper, we are building, cannon artillery, line infantry, that's all fine. And we look at market, we still have a deficit of grain and woods, and a big deficit of services, which just requires building urban buildings. We've deficit of clothes, a deficit of furniture. So I could queue up some furniture manufactories. I think potentially in one of the areas that we're building wood, which I think was Bucharest here, and I think it was Valencia. So then if we look at textile mills input is fabric. So we have 3 Inca steel, so we might go with another 2 Inca steel for that throughput improvements, and that's probably reasonable there. And then fabric is currently output production of some of the other things we're doing, and then we need to get some iron going, which is going to be Western, so Asturias, Navarro, Valencia. So these are struggling because of wages. Okay, so that's just something we need to think about there. And if we actually look here, I think, so a few of these are probably a higher priority than some of these ports. We'll get rid of the Valencia ones because we're going to go with iron mines there instead. So we're going to push some of this iron higher up the priority. Want to get the raw goods production up quickly. Okay, so if we look at paper, is still a problem at 42. Take 2 more weeks to get that one finished. Trade routes, Togo, still at 42. Speed up a little bit just to get that one finished. Go back to speed 3. Paper is still 42. 1 more on mine. Napoleonic warfare unlocked. Mobile artillery. It's pretty useful. Okay, so I'm going to end the episode there. I think we are looking to continue to stabilize this economy, get us going on the right track. So we're looking at the mechanics, the inputs of what builds what, where we build them, trying to build up some areas of excellence and drive our economy forward, so we can then look to do some expanding. So we've already started our first overseas colonial expedition, and we'll be looking to send the military overseas in the next episode, either into Tuscany or Morocco. And then, after that, South Americas want to be re-Spanished. Thanks for watching. Catch you in the next episode.